Mobile Industry Review, Mobile Developer TV.
My name is Arturo Garrido. I'm from Mexico City. I'm a developer for my long years. And I have a service in Mexico called Tuiteame. It's a startup that lets people in Mexico that use Twitter and Facebook use these social networks with SMS. So I started back in 2008, like a hobby. I tried to play with the Twitter API. I was doing some mobile development, so I say, hey, it sounds great. Twitter actually do it in US and the UK, so it's a good example. It's a good case study. So I share with my friends. They start to use it. I get some interviews from podcasts and that kind. Suddenly the service became a little famous and started to be used by a lot of people. Now I have more than 23,000 users in Mexico just for Twitter. People always ask me, where is the business model? where does the money came from? Well, from the beginning I knew that the money has to come from the messages. You know, people send their messages to Tuiteame. It's free to use the service. People only pay what they normally pay for an SMS, but I can send them the SMS with their direct messages or with dimensions. I have to pay that at first. It was not cheap, but it shows me that there is a lot of potential. So I work a lot to find sponsors or some kind of commercial model that enables me to pay for the messages, keep a revenue, and make my users happy because they have the whole experience. You know, they send, but they also get their answers from their friends and contacts from their social networks. Then in 2009, I met Jose Valles from Telefonica in Mexico. They went for the campus party. They have a conference about Movistar Developers Platform. It makes a lot of sense. It was APIs for developers that enables us to access the carrier network, basically. 2 months ago, they launched BlueVia, who is the next generation of MDP. I go to the website and I get really impressed because they are using now standards. They are using OAuth, for example, for the authentication and delegation. They have a pretty well documented API, like any other, like Twitter or Facebook. So you say, hey, it looks very good compared with the first version. So I start to play with code. It seems to work pretty well, pretty easy. So Tuiteame is currently now integrated in production with BlueVia APIs. But there are many advantages. From the technical side, I can rely on Telefonica's infrastructure. So now the users can send to a shortcode. I don't have to worry about how to handle the message queue or that kind of stuff. So Telefonica handles it. For the user, I already say they now have a shortcode. So there's a shortcode with a keyword, say 4040 Tuiteame, and then their message, and it goes. So it's easier to remember a shortcode and a keyword. But the huge thing is the business model. You know, I already say I have to work hard to find some sponsors, to find partners, to get paid for the messages. Now the people will still use the service like they used to. People pay the same price for the SMS, but I get revenue from that, a percentage of. So it sounds really great. I can now focus on develop more features and to get a lot of marketing and PR work. It's one of those cases where everybody wins. The user wins, that's the most important. The developer wins, and in this case the carrier, the provider wins. BlueVia enables their APIs currently in 3 countries. So the app I built for BlueVia in Mexico works simply in Argentina and UK now. So I have just to make some marketing, some localization or translation, and that's it. So every country that BlueVia incorporates to their network, it's a country that Tuitami could move right now. I talk with a lot of developers in Mexico, a lot of entrepreneurs who are looking for business models or ways to prove fast their business model. So here's a real solution. You don't have to cash out. So with a few dollars, with a few bucks, you can set up a live example and know if it works or no. From the developer side, I already said it, but it's seamless. If you know how to connect with to Twitter or Facebook or LinkedIn, you know how to connect to the BlueVia. So it's the same process. There's a lot of documentation. There are examples. And one thing that I think is very important is support. There's a support forum powered by the community and by the engineers from Telefonica. They do a great job. I have quick responses. You know that there are the real engineers who are building the platform are the same people who are answering you or working with you to resolve your issues. So it's all done. Just say, if you don't build it, it's because you want.